Hi, my name is Joanne Dunsing, and I'm a certified hypnotist based here in Milford, Connecticut. I work with a variety of different types of people for different types of problems. And today I want to talk about those who want to quit smoking cigarettes. I'll focus on cigarettes today. So I like to say in my work, I really help people to better mind their mind. If you or someone you know or someone you care about smokes cigarettes, they already know they should quit. But please do not shoot all over yourself. Just stay with me here for this duration of this chit chat, and I do believe you'll feel better by the end. So just for the sake of conversation flow, I'm going to say you, instead of repeating you and or they. You know who you are. You also know all too well about the health risks. You know how much money you are actually lighting on fire to support your smoking habit. And chances are pretty high that you know you would feel so much better by simply breathing air as opposed to breathing in the toxins from the cigarette stuff. And even though many of you are smart and possibly even determined, you may still struggle with the smoking habit. And this is often where frustration begins. Some people start thinking something must be really wrong with them. I've had those people in my office, and I just want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Smoking is not just a habit of the hands, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but some people think it's because they always have to do something with their hands. You know, you can do other things with your hands that don't even cost a dime, much less what you're paying for a pack of cigarettes. So back to the habit of smoking. Over time, it becomes a pattern connected to the mind and your nervous system. It's just the way that it works. For many people, of course, cigarettes are how they deal with stress. Maybe you go for a cigarette after a stressful conversation. It's an excuse to have to step away. But I want to know, whoever said we have to have the excuse of a cigarette to step away? We really don't. Stepping away, of course, can be a good, healthy choice for all parties involved, kind of creating a space between the stimulus and the response. Some people smoke in their car, some don't. Some look forward to driving because that's when they can smoke. And as a side note, I know many people who immediately got their cars cleaned professionally after they quit smoking because they could no longer stand the stench. So back to stress smoking in the car. Some say it helps them to prevent road rage and other unacceptable behaviors behind the wheel. Well, I can share some better alternatives, I really can. Some people go to great lengths to smoke a cigarette on a break at work, having to leave the premises because smoking is prohibited, hiding so none of the other employees see them, then having to go through a process of cleansing yourself from the smell on your breath, your clothing, your hair. I have a true story. Years ago, I had a client who worked in a gold shiny building in New Haven, Connecticut by the harbor. She had to go quite a distance on foot to step off of the premises to light up a cigarette. Then she had to smoke very, very fast because, well, this was a great length that she had to walk. Then, of course, she had to quickly trace her steps back, etc. So interestingly enough, as the story goes, she stopped smoking and she just didn't think about it. Seriously. One day, one of her coworkers walked up to her desk and very nicely said to her that he had noticed that she seemed much less stressed. And he noticed that she was getting so much more work done. So she politely acknowledged him, even though she thought it was a little weird. So later that evening, as she was relaxing at home, it dawned on her, because that's when things often dawn on us, when we're just relaxing, just breathing. So it dawned on her that she had stopped smoking. She was no longer going through the laborious task of leaving the premises. Consequently, she was much less stressed. Of course, she was getting more work done because she was, well, sitting at her desk working more. And I love the way she told me this story. She was in awe. She was in absolute awe when she realized it. Rather than dessert or after a meal, your cigarette may be the cherry on the top. Although chances are one cherry, just one cherry, would probably be much less harmful mentally, emotionally, and physically. Well, again, I digress. So I said all that to say, over time, the brain begins to associate smoking with relief. I know you knew that. Anyways, even though you probably agree that smoking has become a habit, the truth is the mind has learned to treat smoking as a way to temporarily feel better. Well, we all just want to feel better. That's why we do the crazy things that we do. We all just want to feel better. In my Milford, Connecticut hypnosis practice, I often work with people who are ready to stop smoking, but they feel frustrated because, of course, willpower alone hasn't been enough. Many smokers do try to quit through sheer determination. You may make all kinds of promises to yourself. You may even start chewing gum or using food instead. Don't do that. Don't trade one bad habit for another, please. For a few days, or even a few weeks, it might work. But eventually something stressful happens again, and the old pattern returns. It simply means the older pattern in your mind is still stronger than the new one. Well, of course, because you've done that one so much more. So, smoking usually begins as a choice, but over time, it becomes a learned program in the brain, just like we learn how to drive the car, and it becomes a program. It's a habit, a pattern. A habit is just something that we do over and over to the point where we don't even have to consciously think about it. Hypnosis works by helping to change these internal patterns, which is why many people seek hypnosis to quit smoking when other methods haven't worked. And hypnosis has a really good reputation for helping people to stop the cigarette smoking habit. So instead of constantly fighting cravings through effort and pressure, your mind can begin to see cigarettes differently. What once felt appealing can begin to feel unnecessary, no longer wanted, no longer needed. What once felt automatic can begin to feel optional. Key point here, be sure to put the cigarettes someplace else if you're in the process of quitting, thinking about quitting, whatever. Put them someplace else so you don't automatically reach for them. So many people believe that they are trying to quit smoking. Well, of course. However, the real purpose is something so much more powerful. It is becoming a non-smoker for life, for your life. Literally. The shift changes the conversation happening in your mind. Instead of constantly resisting cigarettes, your mind begins to accept a new reality. I'm choosing to stop smoking because I want to feel better, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You can have some fun with that sentence. Fill in your own want. I'm choosing because I want. That is a statement that is filled with emotion, E-motion, motion. It moves you in the direction that you want to go in. That statement can become your new habit, your new pattern. It's like a North Star. And it moves you in the direction that you want to go into. And of course, most smokers already want to quit. You're not looking to be judged. You're not looking to be pressured. You simply want help. Changing a habit that's been a part of your life for a long time. And hypnosis can help to support that decision by helping the mind and the body move in the same direction. There's that emotion, the motion. And often it's so much easier than people expect. So if you're still here with me, then you probably are or have been thinking about quitting smoking, or maybe you want to share this with someone that you deeply care for. So here's the question. Do you want, because you gotta want to, do you want to start practicing, just practicing? Do you want to start practicing not smoking? Well, for your life, for your literal life, not to make someone else happy, but stopping smoking for your life. And just practice. And of course, a simple yes can put you on track. Sometimes things really do work out better than we can possibly imagine. So many people have come to me, have stopped smoking cigarettes, and sometimes I'm more surprised than they are. Sometimes they're more surprised than I am. But anyways, if you would like to learn more about how hypnosis can support quitting smoking or practicing being a non-smoker, you can visit my website. I've included the links in the video below. And there you will find additional information along with another short video. I made it a few years ago. And in that video, I explain how I work with clients. And if you are a physician, a therapist, or a wellness provider working with patients who want to quit smoking, hypnosis can be a very helpful support. My work focuses on helping clients change the internal patterns, help people to better mind their mind. Those patterns that drive the smoking habit, so they can become a non-smoker for life, literally. And you are welcome to share this video with your patients who may benefit. And in closing, I just want to let you know that I do offer a complimentary phone conversation. In that phone conversation, you can ask questions and I'll give you answers. It's a time where we can kind of get to know each other and get a feel for if this work is right for you or not. And you can call me at 203-907-7710. And my phone number is also in the notes below the video. And there'll be a link there that you could click as well. I typically respond within 24 hours. That's it, folks. That's it for now. It is possible for you to stop the smoking habit. It is possible for you to simply practice being a non-smoker for life, for your life. Thank you for being here. And I do hope you're feeling better than when you first started listening.